Ultimately, I won't say at the end of the 3 years because that's too soon to predict something like that.
Okay.
At the end of my education, I would like to see what's possible because if it's possible for my papers work better here, I would like to work. If my papers that I acquire here work for me in my country, I will go back. The reason why that thing is not important is you are able to aid those you love and appreciate wherever you are. I know people who want me to say, "Oh, I'm going back home," or "I'm staying here." I feel that I will stay wherever I'm most useful. Ultimately, if you're asking me for a 10-year plan or at the end of my life, of course, all that I acquire by then, which I hope will be a lot, I want to put it back in my home country. And specifically, I want to target the children. I want them to understand something we lacked, a lot of people in Africa lack, and it's not because I want to sound mean. Even I myself have been a victim of it. We do not understand the value of knowledge. We want to eat, we want to sleep, we want to dance, we want to drink. But we forget that we are here not only to do those things, we are here to be more. And whether you are 50, and that's the problem we have. We think when we reach 30 years old in Africa, we've retired. I'll give you one example here. You see 75-year-old men still jogging. That's the sort of persistence I want to instill in my nephews, my nieces, and whichever children I'll have an opportunity to work with. Why? I want them to understand that knowledge is forever. Once you acquire knowledge, you acquire a skill, you perfect a trade, and you don't stop learning. Don't worry about where you are. You keep putting in your best. You are invaluable. By that I mean your value is endless. Wherever you go, people want to do their nails. Wherever you go, people want to eat. Wherever you go, there will be people who need to learn about history, for example. Put more of your efforts, more of your time and your space into knowledge, not looking good, not pleasing the white man. No, no, it's not for anybody. Even the way you carry yourself, based on how much you know, will fulfill you in ways you will not understand. I can't emphasize that enough. And so for me, I don't mind where I am. For the next few years, I want to be where I'm most productive, where I'm most valuable, where I'm most useful. So that when I go back and tell my nephew, my niece, and the little children that I hope to help, I say, when I say read, read, I know what I mean. When I say do this, travel, talk to people, they will remember me after I'm gone and say, I see why that woman emphasized that books are more important than parties. Books are more important than cartoons. I know it doesn't sound fun. Books are also more important than beauty. I can never emphasize this enough. You can be beautiful, you can be handsome, but those things fade, do they not, eventually?
They do.
But your mind is something that God has given you that has the ability to always receive new knowledge. You just stop doing it yourself. When you pick up a book, you have decided to add. When you don't pick it up, you stay the same. It's that simple.
Thank you so much, because what you just said reminded me of the greatest scientist of history. I can't quite lay my hands on the name right now. I think I forgot his name. The man is on wheelchair. I think I've read something history about him. He's on wheelchair and is the greatest of all time scientists. He's on wheelchair and is this gadgets fits on him, which he communicates. It doesn't work. It doesn't talk. It talks through some mediums and all
Yeah,
that.
the tubes. What are you talking
I
about?
forgot this.
Is he still alive?
He's still alive. Yeah,
Oh, no, no, then I don't know him.
he's still alive. I think so. Why do I bring about that one? Because if you look at him, there is nothing pleasant about him
Yeah,
in physical look.
yeah.
You understand? If you look at him, in main appearance, it looks like something you should do away with. But because of the knowledge in him, they have to do everything
To
to
keep
keep him
him,
because the world need him. You understand me? That is what you
yes.
just said, that book knowledge is much
Knowledge,
valuable than beauty
yes.
and whatever you, there is nothing you can compare to knowledge.
There is
Thank
nothing.
you so much. That was great. And again, lastly, let me ask this. You know the reason why I ask you that question? Whether you would like to grab opportunity after concluding your study or you want to return to Africa. Because I see that today, there are a lot of brains, Africa brains, who came here to study and acquire skills or knowledge in order for them to return back to Africa to better the land or the continent. But because of the opportunity here, you will see them even imparting this Western world the more, and Africa is lacking behind. You understand? So, don't you think it would be much better, no matter what the opportunity that we have here? I know it's profitable for us to work here, gain finance, gain influence, and all that. Don't you think that it will be much impactful to our continent if we should gather this brain and return back to our nation, just like these Italians went to other civilized country years, centuries back, and get wisdom and return back to their land, forsaking every benefit that was given to them there. And today we can see all these beautiful structures, the roads, and every history of this land, because there was people who sacrificed their comfort to return back to impart this place. Don't you think the same thing is applicable to Africa?
I think it is. And I'm about to say something a bit controversial.
All right.
So if I'm sick, if I'm not feeling well, are you going to help me by also not feeling well? By making yourself sick?
No.
You help me if you're strong.
Yeah.
And you help me if you're able to take me to the hospital.
Yeah.
In the same way, let us not condemn our brothers and sisters who grab opportunities. Like I said, if you were given, if someone else was given the same opportunity in Africa who's condemning me right now, they would take it. Or the man who's decided to stay here. What I would condemn is someone who stays here and does not assist anybody. Okay. That's my first point. The second point, so I asked you about being sick because I wanted, put it in this sense, I finished school, I have not found a job, I have not tried my options, I have not seen anything, I just rush back so that I go and show off at home, I'm done, or I go on to help, but I am not actually useful. I have not acquired any skills, I have not, it's just an example. There are people who go back and there's something to do, it's good. But be where it is most advantageous for you, because the reason why I say that is that you are most useful when you are strongest, when you are at your best, when you are at your richest, when you are at your highest, not when you lower yourself to make yourself feel better. That's not what we're aiming for. That's what I'm trying to remove, that mindset. Let people call you what they want, as long as you help them when they need you. And you go back to your country to give back. When a little girl looks at me right now, I go back to Zambia, and the only thing I have to say is, I've been to Italy, I've been to Italy, I've been to Italy. The only thing that girl is going to hear is, I've been to Italy, I've been to Italy, and the fact that you have to boast in life. But if I go back there, I've had years of traveling, of facing racism, conquering burdens, acquiring knowledge. When I stand in front of a young girl with those years in between us, it doesn't matter how long I've been away from home. Think of it as a sacrifice. When I tell her, if you step into that world, this is what you expect. This is what you do. This is what I've learned. She will see from what I have achieved. It will speak for itself. I don't even have to preach. You inspire by being at your best. You don't inspire when you're at your lowest. So that's why I said, go. If you focus on what people think of you while you're on your way, if you focus on what people think of you while you're still making your cake, you stop baking and you spoil it. Bake to the end. If it takes you 15 years to remove the perfect cake, do it, because you're going to give your children the best cake. Don't rush. I don't know how I can emphasize that. All that is not important. If you have achieved maximum capacity in 3 years, go back home. If you've achieved maximum capacity in 15 years, go back. If you never achieve it, stay where you are. But be where you are at your best, because that is when you inspire. No other time.
Okay, thank you. So honestly, yeah, we are not saying, yeah, I quite understand you. We are not disputing the fact that we are condemning or say, why must you remain? No, why must this one remain? No, we are just saying in all ramifications that whatever we acquire, let us see that, okay, just like as you said before, that, but in the end of our conclusion, that your own aim is to return back to Africa.
Yes,
So
and
this is
also
what,
help.
and so this is what we are focusing on, because this knowledge we are talking about that you have today now, another person also has it, another person also has it. We all Africans will put our heads together. Definitely,
Yes.
in the nearest future, we are going to make our continent great if we can come together to assimilate all this wisdom together to develop our continent. So this is what we are just saying. We are not saying that after concluding your education, after the space of 3 years,
You have to
run
go back.
There is no finance. Please, I just need to be. Yet you don't have the finance to back your action. You don't have the connections to back it.
So you go back and
definitely
you,
it's not going to be of any.
you're not
Yield.
useful.
It's not
No.
going to yield any benefit at all. So I quite understand you quite all right.
So I agree with you. Going back to your country is the best, is something you must do out of duty for me.
Yeah.
But also, I think helping, aiding is the most important thing. And then when you go back more useful than you came. Okay, that is the best way I can put it.
Yeah.
Because you will not be of any use to those coming behind you if you have nothing to give. And I'm not talking about money. I am talking about experience, wisdom, plus, yes, money, what you have earned.
Money is still included, because definitely after the wisdom, the money have to sponsor the wisdom as
Yes.
well. Yeah, it's very important. Thank you so much once again. What would be your last word of advice for the people who will be coming across this video all over the world? What would be your last word of advice to them?
All over the
who are
world,
still,
wow.
Who are still looking down on themselves, that it's impossible for them to attain this kind of position here and there just because they are in the foreign land?
Oh, so Africans who are in foreign lands specifically.
And foreign land everywhere, all around.
Okay. The one thing, and I think that won't change, that I'll say is you must always know why you are doing something.
Okay.
If you know why you're doing something, you cannot be pushed here or there. And small problems of life like racism or difficulty, heartache, will not sway you. Like the Bible says, a house built on the sands will crumble. I think something like that.
Yeah.
But a house built on a strong foundation.
Rock.
Yes. So a rock is that goal. Africa, wherever you are, Africans in whatever part of the world, no matter how extreme your circumstances are or however great they are, once you have a goal and you keep your mind on your goal, you can climb any mountain. I don't doubt that. It's not for the faint-hearted. Traveling is not for the faint-hearted. It is for those who want to make a change, not for themselves. It's not always fun, but you have to do it. It's not for the faint-hearted.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you this time. We never take it for granted. And I still want to beg you, don't be surprised tomorrow that we are going to call upon you. If peradventure or by any chances that our audience make demand of you, just as I said earlier, we have occasions like this. Whenever we have an interview like this, they do ask that we visit such a person, most especially when they love the wisdom or the knowledge that was being dished out from such a guest. I believe you are such of people.
No.
You understand? Yeah, you are one of such. But thank you so much. We never take this for granted. From our heart, we really love you and we appreciate you for this. And we wish you the best. And we pray that the next time we're going to meet you, we are going to meet you at your apex. You are going to be at your zenith, and you are going to be among those black people or Africans who attain the position of which no one can imagine. This is our prayer for you.
Thank you.
And we hope to see it very soon.
Okay.
As soon as possible.